Elminster?
Oh, hello, my boy. No, don't mind me. I'm just enjoying a lungful of Baldurian air. Yes, a distinctive aroma, though perhaps not one worthy of bottling. I hear you've been browsing in the most esteemed of emporiums, sorcerous sundries. Indulge my curiosity. What wonders did you discover there? Is that so? Well, far be it for this doddering old archmage to pry into another man's shopping bag. As we're here, I shall offer you a morsel of general and non-specific advice, yours to apply to any relevant knowledge you may have recently acquired. Some things are best left broken, and some people are well worth restoring.
What are you saying? Or rather, what are you not saying?
Mystra knows you defied her, Gale. Well, of course she knows. She's Mystra. She bids you come to her holy shrine in the Stormshore Tabernacle. There, she will grant you an audience at last.
Mistra's willing to speak to me again? Was this your doing, Elminster?
She knows what I see in you, just as I know what she sees in you. I was not born an old man. I know all too well what it's like to have a goddess fill your heart with longing. Looking at you is like gazing into a mirror that shows centuries long past.
The past is the past, Elminster. And the future is, well, still to be decided. By me. Not by Mystra.
If there is another way, I trust you can find it. It is not in your nature, or mine, to stop looking, to accept the first answer to any dilemma. Do what you can. Put that mind to work. Trust in yourself. Trust in the weave. If you are willing, trust in Mystra. There is a conclusion yet to be written in this sorry tale, Gale of Waterdeep. And yours is the quill that will write it.
So all it took to get Mistra's attention was to learn how to reforge an artifact that once destroyed her. It's obvious when you stop to think about it. Not scared, not yet. But she's shaken if she feels the need to intervene directly. This is a conversation that's long overdue on both sides. I owe it to her to hear her out. Come what may afterwards. After you.
Dedicated to Selûne. A place where fools kneel then.
Can't afford to stay idle.
Shield our people from the depredation of the absolute heretics. Strength to endure, and the courage to resist. So may it be.
No time to rest.
There she stands, just as Elminster promised. Mystra,
goddess of the weave, mother of all magic.
The old man wasn't lying. She's opened a summoning channel. Can't you feel it?
Gale's right. The very air around the statue crackles with magic. It sets your teeth on edge.
A stream of pure, undiluted weave. I only have to reach out, and it will carry me to Mystra, wherever she may be.
Your goddess awaits. Hear her out, but remember that you do not owe her obedience, and you certainly do not owe her your life.
Time was, I'd have given my right arm for a chance to speak with Mystra again. The left one, too. Maybe a knee. Not the message one hopes to receive from a past lover. But her first love was always the weave. At best, I was a close second. When I pictured this moment, I thought I'd feel more in control. Yet, here I am, with palms sweatier than a bugbear's armpit. I always wonder what being nervous would feel like. I hate it. Oh, that hardly matters. There's not much further I could fall in Mystra's estimation. But I'd like to at least leave her with something to think about. During my time locked away in Waterdeep, I prepared a quite comprehensive speech for her on the subject of our former relationship and the manner in which it ended. Alas, recent events have rendered the majority of it moot, so I'm going to have to improvise. Unless you have any words of wisdom to impart before I go. The summoning channel Mystra has provided is one only I can enter. No matter how much I prefer not to face her alone. You'd make a fine three-dragon anti-player, you know? I think it's best I keep a cool head going into this. Approach it like a particularly high-risk round of three-dragon ante. I'll let Mystra show her flight, and then I can see how strong a chance we stand of winning the gambit. I'll only be gone for a matter of moments. The Outer Planes experience time quite differently to our own. Wait for me. Please.
Gale of Waterdeep, you look well.
As do you. But I assume we're not here solely to exchange compliments. So why am I here?
You discovered what lies at the heart of the Absolute, the crown of Karsus. And you disobeyed my instruction. Why?
Because you had no right to ask that of me. You cast me out. Remember?
You were my lover, my chosen. Yet still you know so little of me. The past cannot be undone with self-pity, nor can a future be forged. Only with the truth will you see the way ahead. The fragment of magic you tried to return to me was not of my creation. It was the Karsite weave. It is a corrupted, half-born magic, wrought in the brief moment Karsus ascended to godhood. It hungers for power, just as he did, and it can never be sated. You unleashed something that would consume all magic in existence, and yet you thought only of preserving yourself.
So that's what you're scared of. With the crown of Karsus reforged, I could take control of the Karsite weave.
You can no more control the Karsite weave than a weather vane could control a storm. That it entered your body and consumed no more than your powers was a miracle. But we will not be granted another. The only reason the orb sleeps is because I have allowed it to feed on the true weave. A temporary measure, but one that will not be enough to save us. With each day that passes, the Elder Brain threatens to become a new kind of god. Its worshippers, a scourge of soulless illithids. If you will not use the orb to end this abomination, then you must find a way to separate crown and host. When you've done this, you must surrender the crown of Karsus to me.
A great ask indeed. You've given me much to think on, as you always did.
So be it. Follow the needle of your own wisdom. We shall see how truly it leads you.
The Karsite weave. I had no idea. Do you realize what this means? The orb is no stray piece of ordinary magic. It is something entirely different. The nascent form of a new, divine power. Of course, I couldn't control it. I was mortal. But once I reforge the crown, the power of a god will be mine to command. The orb will answer to me. Slim to none, I hope. Mystra has no right to prevent another ascending to the Pantheon. Only Ao can decide that. Let me assure you, Karsite Weave has no more inherent evil to it than a child in the womb, or an axe half forged on the blacksmith's anvil. It is a tool, ready to be shaped by its wielder, by me. And you know me to be someone of reasonably sound moral judgment, don't you? Gods, it's refreshing to share the company of someone who sees things the same way I do. All we need to do is stay focused on the task at hand. Defeating that Elder Brain. After that, you can leave the rest to me.
Mystra has forsaken Gale entirely. Imagine how he must be feeling. I doubt I could go on if Lady Shah turned on me.
Unnerving though the Emperor is the reason we have made it this. You wish to consult me? A disparate collection of vagabonds.
Moving in.
I do not trust Mystra to do right with the crown, but I think I trust Gale even less. He must give it to her when the time comes, or his lust for power might well consume him.
So, Gale's hedging his bets with Mystra? I can't say I blame him. Who'd want to hold a power like the crown of Karsus in their hands just to hand it to someone else? I know what my decision would be, but we're all different, of course.
Go ahead. I'm listening. I've often asked myself the same question, and never really found a satisfactory answer. He clearly sees something in me that I can't. The wisdom and intelligence required to overcome almost insurmountable odds, perhaps? Or the stupidity required to attempt it. I take it as a compliment either way. You don't get to be 13 centuries old without becoming a sound judge of character. And cheese, apparently. I regret many things in my life. choosing to be here, intact and unexploded, is not one of them. For now, to have a few more days in your company, no. I wouldn't change a thing.
Hey, mate, you look pretty well geared up. Could you spare a healing potion? My problem isn't exactly official business. I expect to get beaten up by some thugs hired by Hobart Hune. So rich they piss in golden pots. Or at least that's what Henrietta tells me. She's Hobart's daughter. We was engaged, secretly, but now it seems she's set to marry Dirk Rillin. I tried to see Hen, but Papa had other ideas. Have you got bugs in your head? The fists don't mess with wealthy patriarchs. They've got the watch to back them up. And nowadays, the watch comes in a steel variety, in case you haven't noticed. I'll take my lumps. Ah, my favourite flavour too. Thanks, mate. Don't fall for any patriarch's daughters. Hello again. Still got me head on my shoulders.
The singing lute. Not everyone subscribes to what it...
Bit busy, mate. We need to get these cleared before the next shipment arrives.
Please. I need to get this done.
Should have docked her under one of those cranes and let the pulleys do the lifting.
Blasty. This cargo's heavy as lead, and I've got lumbago issues.
My last decent mate joined the Flaming Fists. Now I'm stuck with these two lugs.
Helm's glory, the finest Marsember ice wine, and these fists want to confiscate it. I doubt their palates would even appreciate it.
If we don't deliver this Baldur ale to the Blushing Mermaid, the folk there are going to get ugly. Oh, uglier.
I'm in the right here. Strong drink qualifies as contraband, even thin pedo like Balor's ale.
These sad little citizens actually think we'll let them off the hook if they complain loudly enough. What dopes.
They can't have sailed off without us, right? If it ain't bad genes, it's too many years of salt in the eyes. Can't see further than a gull can shet.
Look for striped sails, they said. Every other ship's got stripes on its sails. Like asking us to look for a fish with a tail.
Whoa, whoa, mate. This is the last place you need to be. Clear off, yeah? 2 words. Guild business. Only an idiot gets between them and their shipments.
Why didn't you lead with that? I trust you're gonna balance the books too, yeah? Oh, yeah. Weapons, drugs, bit of fire wine. You know, the usuals. Cocky shit. I'm gonna enjoy this.
I am fury. I am death. I thirst for combat.
Let's have a look.
If I don't get my beauty sleep soon, I may just get a tad malcontent.
A fully grown shark, fresh from the ocean. Not an easy catch.
Either watch or leave.
It's not a lie. If you would just listen, I could explain.
You have done quite enough explaining, Volothamp Gadam. You have poisoned the very hearts and minds of these good, kind, gentle citizens with your lies, your delusions, your conspiracies. Though you hide behind a mask of stories, we have seen beyond the veil. We see what you really are. Fearmonger. Hear, hear! Attention seeker. Hear, hear! Agent of chaos.
Your parasite stirs in recognition. This man is infected.
Let the hells follow! Today, citizens, we rid ourselves of this cankerous sore. Today, we burn away all falsehoods. Today, we will be divided no longer, for today, we rise in truth.
Psst. Don't just stand there. Help me, goddammit! Help me!
I really think we ought to step in here. Whatever his crime, his punishment is surely an overcorrection.
The newcomer speaks, and speaks of evidence, and trials, and justice. And in so doing, they delay their very own salvation. Dear citizen, dear friend, Rest assured, you will have your justice. But I'm afraid the time for trials has passed. Now is the time for judgment!
No! Please! No!
Wretched thing. Pull yourself together. They should all be running.
Gods! I really thought I was done for. I suppose thanks are in order. Again, what's an heroic story without a little risking of one's neck, eh? And you know what they say, the bigger the story, the more people want to kill you for it. You of all people will, know what I mean. I'll, tell you what I know, but not here. Too many eyes, ears, weapons about. Meet me at your camp, hmm? It is splendid to see you again, my friend. If you hadn't saved me from that mob, I'd be penning a guide to the afterlife based on first-hand experience. Perhaps you would hazard a guess as to why the mob turned on me? It is not the eyes that I fear, it is the intelligence behind them. The Absolute is merely the outward form of something far more insidious. The Lord of Murder has returned. As he did 100 years ago, Baal has set his accursed sights on Baldur's Gate. And his temple runs red with the blood of the innocent. And just as then, he has more than one chosen to manifest his gruesome plot. He has Orin, and he has you. You triumphed over Baal's chosen? Marvelous! I was hoping your better nature might come to the fore. Perhaps you never had one. This is not the first time your kind have threatened Baldur's Gate, and the city still stands. It will survive you, and so will I. From as great a distance as possible.